All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the workshop. Uh, Before we begin the workshop, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ilham. I am an IT student, and I'm also one of the tech members in Developer Students Club, UUM. All right. So, may I know if all of you have installed Flutter? You can just type in the chat if you have or you haven't. Anyone? All right. I assume all of you have installed Flutter. Okay. I will uh try to explain. First of all, I would like to give you an overview about what Flutter is and how it is structured in terms of code, and also don't worry, guys. I will explain it quite slowly, so I will only focus on the first screen if you have uh, uh, seen the module. For the first screen is will be the UI or user interface of input screen, and the second one will be the result screen, and we will only focus on the first one. Let me present. Let me share the screen. All right. Okay. Hold up. Okay. So you see, we will build an app called BMI. So we will only uh, create this part, and for this part, basically, it's the concept is the same. I will just give you a dot file, and we will only learn how to insert an image to the screen. First of all, what is Flutter? Basically, if you have read all of this, uh, Flutter basically is an SDK or software development kit, or in simple terms, it's like a toolkit for programmers to build uh, an app. But the advantage of using Flutter, we can basically deploy or create an app for both Android and iOS apps. If you have an experience like doing programming in Java and building an app using Java, you might uh, probably you only can deploy use an Android app, but using Flutter, it's you can deploy both apps. Okay, basically, if you are working with Flutter, you will always hear the term widget. Now, what is a widget? And it says widget is the building block of Flutter application, and that's the definition is quite like technical, but let me show you uh, this. In real world, we know that we have an object or thing, and This is the comparison. But in the Flutter world, an object or a thing is called widget. Now, widget can consist of many widgets. In BMI app, it consists of row, column, expanded, and these three are the layout and the card and many more. Now, in real world, a thing can consist of many things. Like car can consist of steering wheel, clutches, trunk, and a mirror, and many more basically. In Flutter, the way we code or the way the code is structured is like a tree. So that's why we have a concept called a tree widget. A tree widget looks something like this. But before I go here, before I explain this, I would like to give you a real world example. Now this is a tree of a cup of coffee, and this cup of coffee basically consists of water, of course, water, and then also coffee beans and a cup itself. And a cup can be made out of glass or maybe clay, depends on the material. Now for Flutter, guys, basically the concept is the same. We have also a tree, and this is the a, an overview of the how the code looks like. And by the way, this is a code. I mean, the language that we're using is called Dart, which is built by Google. And for this part, so the material app here is basically the root and material app, and then material app has home, and home itself is a scaffold, and scaffold is like a skeleton or in other words like bones for. And then scaffold has an app bar, and by the way, this is the app bar part, and the app bar itself can consist of this text widget, and this is app bar widget, and this is text widget. And for this part here, let me erase this. You see the word hello world, and it's basically wrapped with a widget called container, and a container can consist of text as well. Basically, container can only consist of one child. Now we will see that in action. And what else? Okay, okay. And for Flutter, we have two kinds of widgets. The first one is stateless widget, and the second one is stateful widget. The differences between them are stateless widget basically is like you can think of it like a static, and stateful widget is like dynamic. Static means like you cannot change the behavior or the properties, whereas the stateful widget has a state that can be updated. For example, if you tap a button or if you tap something on the screen and something will appear, that's stateful widget. If it's stateless widget, that would be like this an app bar here, because an app bar will always stay like that. It's gonna be my app for the whole uh, time. Okay, and okay, so this is the app that we will build, and the first one here. Okay, and now you may open the Visual Studio Code. I'll bring up this screen. All right. Uh, Let me know if you have the Visual Studio Code open. You can type in the chat so we know where we are. All right. Okay. Now, I mean, if you have watched the part 3 of the video, uh, you will be familiar with how to create a project. So go to the view and you'll see the command palette here, or you can just uh, press Control plus Shift plus A at the same time. But I'll just click, and if you don't see Flutter new project, you can just type Flutter and then new project. Now hit this one or choose this one and try to give it a name. For example, like BMI underscore app, and try to hit enter, for example, and then choose the folder or the location that you want to create the project in. So yes, select this folder, and you'll see it's going to generate a bunch of things, like some of folders will show up here, but don't be overwhelmed by it, because we will only work on this part, lib part, and also this pubspec.yaml. You see here the code generated by Flutter. All right, and the lib part, this is the folder that we will uh, code in Dart, that language, and this is the pubspec where we will configure the project. But don't worry about, we will just do this part first. Now you see some of the code here by Flutter, and this is just an example. But for this part, for our case, because we will create a BMI app, delete all of this until the last part here. Remove that, and until this is only what's left. Okay, now you may see this red line underneath my app, just because we just deleted it. Now try to create type STL. The VS Code is gonna show the Flutter stateless widget, and stateless widget is basically the static widget. Now choose this part, and the VS Code is going to generate this code. Uh, all right, now we will name it my app, and notice that this part is fixed, no red line underneath the my app anymore. All right, now if you refer to the module for the, okay, mm, okay, now I'll explain what it is, what this means later. But for now, uh, basically we will only work under the build method. Okay, this is called a method, guys. It's like a behavior of the class. The class, you can think of it like a thing or object or a widget. Now for this one, you replace it with material app. Material app can consist of theme. Okay, and then type it first. I'll explain later. Theme data dark for this material app. And what is it? Basically, material app. Uh, okay, material app is the when you want to create an app, usually there is a guide for you to follow which design that you want to apply for the application. Now, material design is basically the guideline describing how the appearance should be displayed on the system. Now, if you're using Android, you'll see that some of the apps or most of the apps follow the material design. Now, what about the iOS? iOS app, you have something called Cuport, Cupertino app. Cupertino, basically, Cupertino is for iOS. Material app is mostly for Google, for Android. And then now this we have theme. This theme, basically, there are two kinds of themes. Most the first one will be light theme, and the second one will be dark. And it's just, I mean, most of the apps now support the dark theme, and not only it gives you uh, the comfortability when you open the apps, but I think it's good for your eyes. At least that's my biased opinion. And for next one, we have home. And home is basically the first screen or the first screen or the home screen when you open up the app. Now type input screen uh, parentheses here. Now make sure the spelling is the same, because if not, it's gonna create an error. After that, uh, go to the lib here and try to right click, create a new file. So this new file will be input underscore screen dot dart. Make sure the spelling is the same again, and this is the syntax, I mean. Oh, now try to hit enter. All right, this is where we will create the input screen. Now at the moment, just type stls stateless widget and name it input screen. Now you see that there is an error. Well, just try to click the stateless widget here, and you'll see the light bulb that I pointing here. It's gonna show some fixes, and choose the import library package flutter material.dart and choose this one and hit save. I mean, Control plus S if you're using Windows, or you can just go here, go to the file and hit save. Now, whenever you save a code in Flutter, it's going to make the code look more organized, or in programming terms, we like to call it refactoring the code. Now, go back to the main.dart file. This, you'll see there is an error there. So with our savior here, light bulb, just click this one and choose the first one, and it's fixed. And try to hit save again. All right. So if I am being too fast here, you can just stop me or tell me if you don't understand. Now for the next part, we will change it to scaffold. And for the scaffold is the skeleton, or skeleton, scaffold. And scaffold has an app bar, and app bar properties, this is called property, has app bar widget, and an app bar widget has a title, and that title itself accepts text widget. Now for the text widget, you can just surround any text or any words with the single quote. Now type, because our title will be BMI calculator. Later, okay. Save again. Now you'll notice that it's going to refactor the code or make the code more organized. And next part, we have body. Body at the moment. Okay. Type column, and the column has children. Okay. Until this, I'll explain. I'll go back to the module here. Okay. Okay, so the main objective now, the first objective will be creating this card, this part, okay? This part. And if you notice that the scaffold, basically the whole thing here, that's the scaffold, and that, I mean, the body. So the body, if you notice this is like the widgets are placed vertically, right? This this card, this card, the weight card, and the calculate BMI button. So whenever you want to place the widgets vertically, you will have to work with widget called column. Um, so, and the opposite of column will be row widget. And if you surround or wrap any widgets with row, the widgets themselves will be placed horizontally. Now go to the column. And why this is children? Because we can have many widgets here. Now hit enter, and okay, so the next part, how do we create this part? This part, well, this is what I call the custom card. Now go to the lib folder again. For the lib folder, and create new file. New file will be custom underscore card dot dart. Basically, we are creating a customized widget or object. Now type again. I've already done that. Like, should know it. Stateless widget, and we will name it custom card. And you see here, as there's an error. With the help of the light bulb, choose the material dart here. Now it's fixed. Now, if some of you are having problem, you can just unmute your mic or just type in the chat. Our team will help you. And so for this part, we type container. Container basically a widget that can contain anything, but only a child, only one widget. Okay, we'll for at the moment, just follow along with me first, because I'll explain later. Margin edge insets dot all. This is margin, and there's a margin, and there's also padding. I'll explain the differences between two. And for decoration will be set box decoration, because the look will be like a box. And box decoration also will have a color of blue gray. Now to add a color, just this is the code colors dot. Now if you're using VS Code, it's gonna show you bunch of colors here. But for our case, we will choose blue, gray. If you hover over this, you'll see there are kinds of so many shades actually you can choose. Now, after that, add a comma here to separate this property from the other one, because we will also add a border radius. So what is border radius? Border radius is basically a property that can make the container, you can think of it like container, like a box here like this, and it will make the box have a rounded edges. Okay, and then type border radius, choose dot circular, and give the value of 30. Now try to hit save. Okay. Now the code is a bit too long here. Just try to add a comma after the parenthesis here. If you see the code is too long, just add a comma and then hit save again, and it's gonna be pushed down. Now for the child, we'll add padding, and the padding has a, okay, we'll not do this. Okay, I'll just type child here and go up here, type final widget child. This is called an attribute or property, and this one belongs to this custom card. I'll explain later. At the for now, just type custom card. This is called uh, constructor. So basically, a constructor is like whenever you want to whenever you want to use custom card, you will have to call this custom card constructor. And now, what is this keyword? Well, this keyword means that we are referring to the object of custom card, or a thing if it's in real world term. So this, as I said earlier, that this child belongs to custom card, and this itself is the custom card, if that makes sense. Now for the child, why we have the same child here? Okay, if you go here, if you click this, it's being highlighted, and you'll see this is highlighted in gray, and this one also, this one too. What does that mean? Well, this child belongs to the custom card, like I said, but this child itself, if you uh sorry, if you click this, it's only the only child that is being highlighted. So this means this child belongs to the container, and this child belongs to custom card. We will just only pass the child here. Now, for this case, click the child and go to the light bulb. You'll see some of the options here. You can choose wrap with padding. Choose this one. Now try to hit save. Okay. What are the differences between padding and versus margin? Well, if you see here, padding uh, gives a space for the inside part, whereas margin gives the outside space. And padding usually will surround the content here, The content can be text, and for the margin, usually it will be it will have oh it gives a space in relation to another widget. So we you see that out here, this is padding and this is the second widget padding. Okay, I'll explain one more time. Padding surrounds the content and gives the inside space, whereas margin gives the outside space like this. Now, okay, okay, we've created the custom card, and okay, I forgot to run the app. We actually can run now. Okay, to run the app, uh, type, I mean, click run here. It's gonna ask you which device that you're going to use, and have this star Nexus 6 API. Make sure you are in the main.dat file. Click this run. It's actually going to take some time to run the app, but once you are in the uh, app mode, you can see how powerful Flutter is, because whenever you change something here, for example, you change this one to BMI calculator, it's going to be reflected in real times. This is thanks to the uh, feature called hot reload. That's the feature in Flutter that allows you to have some changes being reflected in real time. Okay, make sure you are also try, trying to run the emulator. You'll see it's launching the lib main.dart. Now, probably some of you have a question, what is this? Well, in programming, usually you will come across something called main. Basically, this is like the starting point, and this is where the part where the code is executed first. And you can, as you can see here, lib main.dart one. Basically, this is the file that we're executing. It's taking a while. If you have a fast computer, it's gonna take probably fraction of seconds, if you will. Actually, should have open the Android emulator first, so we can see how hot reload uh, works in action. But it's okay. It's still running the Gradle test. Okay. I mean, it's taking too long, I guess. Very unlucky here. Usually, it's gonna take like few minutes, but it's fine. Okay, I'll explain something else here. And you see, An error. Okay. I'm sorry guys for the delay here. Yes, if you have any questions about Flutter or the widget, you can uh, type in the chat or just unmute your mic while this one is being launched. Okay, column. Okay. While this is being launched, I'll just explain what is this widget build. And you'll see here also widget build. This is what we call a method or a function. This is build method. This is the method that will be called whenever you run the app. For the stateless widget, for the stateless widget, the build method will only be called only once. Like app bar here is gonna call only once. But if you have stateful widget, it can be called several times, because when you tap a button or you touch the screen, this build method, this is the method that is responsible to update the look or the user interface of the app. Okay, I'm not sure why this is taking so long. Okay. Mm, okay, I'll probably stop this first and try to run or launch the code again. Okay, go back to main.dart. And is it working? Okay. Wish me luck this time. if some of you have already launched the app, uh, that's good. You can just explore this, like changing these text to something else, like my BMI calculator, and try to hit save. And by the way, for this custom card, we will use the widget here inside the column. Okay, it says build, thank God. Finally, you see this build is done. Now it's time to wait. I mean, just wait for it to install in this emulator. It says installing the app. Still okay. It's starting to look good. Okay, it's still blank. Wait. Almost there, guys. Hang on. Okay, maybe I'll try to. Okay. I'll restart. Okay, finally, you see, this is the uh app, and this is the app is based on our code that we just wrote. Now, like I say, if you try to change the title here to be my BMI calculator and try to hit save, I mean like Control plus S, and it says performing hot reload, and this is being reflected in real time. So any changes that you make in the code, it will be immediately reflected. Try to save again. All right, nice. Okay, we can continue our journey here. So we have created the custom card, right? Well, we will use that custom card here. To do that, remember the custom card name is here. Custom card is custom card. Okay, custom card. You see the first option is gonna auto import this. See, okay, okay now. Okay, I think I okay. Now insert the custom card. I'll bring up the okay. So again, I'll show you the final look. Where is that? Oh, right here. Now this is basically the gray part, the bluish gray part is the card, custom card. Now our objective here, we will create this part, gender text, and this is the card text. I mean card widget. This is the card widget as well, and inside the card widget, we will have a text inside it. Now, if you see here, the three widgets are placed horizontally. So what does that mean? What kind of widget that we need to use? Well, we will use a layout widget called row. Inside the custom card, type child and type row, and row has children. So meaning we can put many widgets here inside the row. Now save again to refactor the code or to make the code look more organized. You see there is some there's a widget here. This is a widget custom card. Now to create a text saying gender, insert the row here, create text and surround gender with the single quote. Now if you hit save, the text looks very small, like we can barely see it. Well, to change the style, the text widget also has a style property, and make sure you separate this property from the other property with the comma here. For the style property accepts text style, and this text style parentheses. You see there's a bunch of things that you can choose, but in this case I will just change the size. Instead of the text style, choose font size, give the value of 30. So 30, save again, is gonna be reflected right on here. All right, now you see this is row. Now next to gender we will have another widget or an object or a thing. That widget is card. Make sure after parentheses, close parentheses, you add a comma. Always add a comma, because if not, for example, I remove this comma, you see there's an error. So we don't want any errors in our code, so just add a comma here. And for the card, now you might be wondering, this is custom card and this is card, what is the difference? Well, this custom card is created by us, whereas this card widget is created by Flutter and the community itself, because Flutter is open source, guys. So basically, if you want to contribute, you can, for example, you come up with a new widget, you can just create a widget and submit or to Flutter. And this is the card created by Flutter. Basically, this is the same. Is a rounded rectangle. Now inside of card, it also has child, and that child we will fill it text, and it will be male. Hit save. Now we will style the text up, or we will modify the style of the text. Well, we can add style, text style, basically the same as the above one, style. All right, and add a font size of 30. Okay, it appears on our app here. Now, if you refer to the module, I show you, I think, which page? Oh, page 14, page 14, page 14. Okay, here. I wrote text line here. Well, in this case, you don't need to add this part, because why? The reason why I wrote this, because I was exploring how it was going to be put, and it's not gonna affect the look of our app if you add this code. And by the way, you also can copy and paste this code. All right, okay, back to this part. Text align, it will align basically the text here, but since this is kind of tight, it's not gonna affect at all. But if you have the card like this long, well, it's definitely gonna affect the look. So we will just ignore that part, and yeah, make sure you are in the same page as mine. And if we have created the card, well, add a comma here and add another female card. To do that, to add a card, well, you can just copy this card, but make sure you add a comma here. Always add a comma after the close parenthesis. Copy this part, Control C. I'll put over here and hit save. It's gonna show, it's gonna be duplicated because that's what we did. And we just need to modify this a little bit, like we change it to female because that's the card that we want. And if you notice that this is quite easy, like everyone basically can do it if they know the basic one. And then the syntax itself is quite understandable for beginners. You just need to, you can think of it like a Lego. You can build on top of each other. Can build a widget on top of each other. That's what I meant. Okay. Now, what is the next step? Okay, I'll look at the module first. Okay. So at the moment, if you click one of these, nothing changes. Because why? Well, remember what I said earlier? Because this is stateless widget. Stateless, like the name implies, it doesn't have a state, or like it cannot be updated. But to change that, for this to be tappable or clickable, we need to change that to stateful widget. How do we do that? Well, it's easy. Just click the stateless widget here, guys, and you see the light bulb, and you'll see there's a suggestion convert to stateful widget. Now click this one, and it's going to change some of the code. You see, previously we don't have this part, but now we have it. I mean, this is a bit advanced, but at the moment this is out of the workshop scope. Basically, this just create a state, and don't worry, we will only mainly work under this build. Now, the next part, we will come to the concept of enum. This is enum. That is the short form of enumeration. What is an enum? Well, okay, just uh, add the code first. Now go to the bottom part of the file here. Go to the bottom part of file. At the very bottom, guys, don't write over here because it's gonna make the code error. Now, in this enum, we will create enum, and we will name it gender, curly brackets. Curly brackets. Inside of it will be male and female. Hit save. Sorry. So this enum, what is an enum? Enum is used for defining named constants values. Well, that's like mumbo jumbo or like very technical. Well, the easiest thing you can think of it like this. Okay, this there are many ways to represent something. For example, okay, you say that zero is equal. I mean, like zero will represents male, and one represents female. Actually, yeah, this is still understandable, and this is, I mean, not so many. And but imagine if we have something like until 100 that we need to be represented by number. For example, 100 will be, for example, card parts will be like trunk, and the 99 will be, for example, mirror. Well, that's gonna be so, I mean, not good. Like probably the next programmer would have to refer to the documentation, or they will just be depressed because they have no idea what is this. Okay, but instead of having to do this, we can just directly represent it like this, male and female. That's basically the the what enum is. Okay, I'll repeat. So basically, enum just represents something, and instead of, there's another way to do that using this part. Zero represent male, but that's not good. I mean, it's doable, but imagine if you have lots of this until 100, and you need to refer like, what is number 66? Okay, oh, that's probably a, a tire or whatever. Yeah, so that's basically now for go up here, make sure you have written this part. go up here under this one, under this class underscore input screen state here, and above the add override, we will add a variable with the type of gender. Gender, we will name it uh, selected, selected gender, add a semicolon to end the statement. This semicolon is like a period in your normal sentence. Just imagine if you don't have a period when you are writing a paper, that's gonna be disasters, I guess. You will People would not understand what it means. It's gonna be so confusing. And in programming terms, it's also the same. You need to add a comma, I mean semicolon here. Now imagine if you don't do that. If you didn't do that, well, it's gonna show an error, or this error is not understandable by Flutter. Now, gender, selected gender here. And this is a variable, and we will make it tappable or clickable. How are we going to do that? Well, it's easy. Our objective now is to make this card, when we click or touch the screen, this card will change its background color. Its background color. Whenever we click the female card as well, we will make it the background change. Okay, now we will do it one by one. Male first. Okay. To do that, well, you need to add another widget called Inkwell. So this Inkwell is basically a widget that allows the wrapped widget to be touched. Whenever we touch it, it can have a functionality, or it can work, it can do something. Now to do that, well, wrap this widget, this card. Make sure you are in the mail here, card. You see the light bulb again. Now choose wrap with widget. Now change it to, for example, like, oh, I mean, this one is Inkwell. Inkwell. Hit save. If you see this will be pushed down to the right, well, just hit save, because it's going to refactor the code. Refactor means making the code more organized again. This is Inkwell. Okay. Inkwell basically a widget. All the things here are a widget actually. And you see Inkwell has on tab. Choose this one on tab. Add parentheses and curly brackets. This is what we like to call an anonymous function. What is an anonymous function? Well, it's just simply a function that doesn't have a name. Well, if you see here, this is basically a function or method, or more correct term would be method, because it belongs to here. So this is basically the same thing. This is the parenthesis part, and then this is the curly brackets part. But the differences between this is this has a name, whereas this one doesn't have a name. And like this one as well, we will put the code. We will put the code inside these curly brackets. Okay. Now inside these curly brackets, add a set state. Choose the first one, set state here. Okay. Now new concept again, guys. Basically, set state is a telling, okay, this part, if you have the code inside here, it is gonna tell the Flutter, hey, Flutter, something has changed. Can you just update the look of the UI again? That's basically what state does. Set state does, I mean. Yeah, to do that, we'll add a, oh, okay. We will assign selected gender is equal, we will assign it gender dot male, a semicolon, because we are in the male card, right? Because when we click this one will be called, because this is called on tab. When we click this, it's gonna execute this, and also it's gonna assign basically this gender dot male to here. The selected gender, you can think of it like a box with the gender type only. When you are doing this is equal gender dot male, meaning you are putting this gender dot male into this box. That's the analogy in real life. Now, okay, what is the next part? The next part will be changing the background of the card here. Hit save again. Okay, if you see this confusing, well, don't worry. We we're gonna do it together. So you are in Inkwell here, and add and make sure you are in the card part. Below it, add a color probably because we will change the background, right? One number of its type. Now we will come to the concept called ternary operator. Okay, what is a ternary operator? This is called ternary operator. Basically, it's just a syntax or a format. It's like if you have done a programming lesson, you might have learned about if, oh my god, if else. Sorry for this handwriting. If else, and basically this is the validation. For example, uh, this one, x is equal to 1. If it's 1, you will do something in true condition, and this is the false condition. This is like telling, is it true? And this part is like, oh yeah, that's true. And this part, oh no, that's not true. This is like if else, but in more compact format. So to do that, well, we type selected gender is equal to gender dot male, because we are asking, well, if we are clicking the male button or not. If it's selected gender is equal to gender dot male, add a question mark, this question mark, and this part will be what are we going to do when we are clicking the male card. And we will change it to yellow color. So to do that, colors dot yellow. Now add a brackets here. I'll explain what that is, and add a value of 900. Now, oh my god, sorry, too much. 0. What's wrong? Okay, okay, there's something wrong, guys. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, I think there's something wrong with my keyboard here. Okay. So, okay, will be 900. we will just finish this code first. 900 and then colors. And if you're not clicking the card, we will assign the color of gray with the shade of 700. Basically, this 900 value inside of the brackets is like the shade. If you hover over this yellow, you'll see 50. This is the shade of 50. This is the shade of 100, and this is the shade of 200. And for 900, it looks like more an orange color. Now hit save. Okay. Okay, sorry. Hit save. And you see these changes. Now try to tap this button, the card. It changes, right? Now click again. Oh, it's not gonna work because we haven't done it for female. Now we will do the same thing to the female card. To do that, okay, to do that, well, just go to the card, female. Oh, this is this part. Card. We will wrap it with inkwell again. Inkwell. Hit save the file. It's gonna refactor the code, and inside the inkwell we will have on tab, the on tab, add parenthesis, semicolon, curly brackets, and inside of the curly brackets we'll have set state, and inside of set state we will do the same thing like selected gender. We will assign it with gender dot female because this is a female card. I might be repetitive here, but it's fine. So you will remember it. So set state will tell the Flutter to update the UI whenever something changes, because this is when the change happens, because we are assigning female card. Previously we are assigning the male card, and when the Flutter execute this code, something's gonna change. So remember, the set state is very important when you are working with stateful widget. Stateful widget is is a widget or an object that can be updated. Okay, so now below the card, as usual, we will change it color. Or you can just simply copy and paste this part, but for practice, we will write the code. Selected gender is equal to gender dot female, because we are working in female card. Female. Add a question mark. If we are clicking, basically, this like in human terms will be, are we clicking the female card? If it's true, well, we will change it to colors dot yellow. We'll change the background. Okay, yellow. 900. The color is the same, and add a colon. If it's false, we will add colors dot, what is the color again? Gray, I think. Is it gray? Oh yeah, gray with the shade of 700. Gray 700. And hit save again. And yeah, now try to click this. It's gonna change. Yeah, it changes. Right. Okay. I'll walk you through How does this happen? How is it possible? I mean, okay. So, okay, this is how it works, guys. Uh, when we are clicking the, for example, mail, we click this part. This card, the mail card, this on tap part will be executed. Set state will tell the Flutter, hey, something just changes because uh, the developer has assigned the gender.mail to select the gender, and what what is the consequences when set state tell the Flutter? Well, it's going to call the build method again. It's going to call all of this again. Basically, all of this will be called. And when it is being called, what what parts that change? Well, the parts that change is this part because this card previously selected gender is not female. It's not male. Now it becomes male. So when we are executing this, selected gender is equal to gender.male. Well, that becomes true because we just click the card male. And when it's true, okay, I'll assign the yellow color to the background. That's basically how it works. Okay. Ooh, so many so many concepts that we just learned. All right. Do you guys have any question? You can just unmute your mic or just type in the chat if you don't understand. Okay. Okay, apparently there's no question. To, okay. Okay, hold up, guys. Okay, we will continue the next part. Okay. Okay, the next part we will try to position this widget. Well, how do we do that? Well, it's easy. You will okay. Now there is a concept of expanded widget. So what is an expanded widget? Basically, expanded is a widget that takes uh, the space, the available space. Okay, we will try to surround the or wrap with this text gender with the expanded to position. We will wrap with widget and change it to x expanded. Say it's going to be these two cars are going to be pushed to the right. Yes. So this text gender now has all the space. See the cursor here? Now we're done with the first card. The next step will be uh, creating this part, the hide card here. Basically, this is the same part, but this part is the only difference. Okay, uh, this part will be height, and this part you can think of it like a box here, and it's not necessarily a box, but this is just a column, because if you notice this one, this text and the slider are placed vertically. So this is vertical and this is horizontal. For the horizontal, as we know, we will use the layout widget called row widget. Now for the column part, for the vertical part, we will use column. Now these two widgets are inside the column. Okay, let's see that in action. Go to the bottom part. You see the custom card here. Add a comma. Now we will create another custom card, which is custom card. Let me try my keyboard again. Okay, this is error, guys. I don't know why. Custom card. Okay, custom card, and add a child. And this one will be row. Row has children. Hit save again. You see there is some shape here. So we will fill with text again. We will type text. Okay, wait. Okay, we will fill this with text. This text is height, if I'm not wrong. Okay, that's height. Height. We will change the font size. That will be style. Text style. Again, the same concept. Style. This one we will change the font size to 30. Make it the same as the above one. Okay, and okay, I made an error. You see, if you are having a problem like this, it says expected to find close parenthesis because I accidentally deleted the close parenthesis. Now just add a parenthesis. Add a comma here, and right, this height. Okay. And then we after text, what is going to be placed in this part? Well, as I said earlier, because we will place the widgets vertically, we will add a column. Column has children, and that children itself will be this part and this part. the height. Okay. Now, since we are always doing customized widget, well, we'll do that again. Create a new slider. Okay, I forgot to tell you about the slider. What is a slider widget? I will go to the page 19. Page 19. Well, you can open the module and yeah, you'll see this is the slider, and I'll explain the parts of it. So this part, that is the what we call active track color. Active track color. And this one, this is thumb. This is the inactive track, and we will modify the slider to be like this because we want to match the slider with our theme, with our color choices. Now, okay, as usual, go to the lib, create a new file. We will name it custom custom slider custom slider dot art custom slider dot art. Okay, this one will be stateless. We will name it custom slider, and okay, you see there's an error. Well, with the help of light bulb again, choose the material.dart, and yeah, it's fixed. That's how helpful VS Code is. Okay, the next part will be, well, okay, what we will add min max value on change. Okay, you can open the module, go to the page 19. I will just copy this part, this final this part here until here. I will just copy this part, final until this semicolon. I will copy, okay. Control C. And go back to the custom slider.file again. Add and paste over here and try to save. Okay. Now, what are all of these things? Okay, don't be overwhelmed by it. Well, in slider, we have this. Okay, first of all, how do I know all of this? Well, I know it from slider widget itself. Slider, and you'll see if you go to the parentheses, inside parentheses here, and press Control plus space, you'll see a bunch of values that you can choose. I know all of this from here. And remember, our objective, we want to customize the slider, because if you see here, this looks so boring and doesn't really match our theme. So, okay, now go inside the slider, inside the parentheses. Basically, we will pass the min max value unchanged to the slider, and it's going to have it's gonna have the same name basically, and the slider has min, and we will insert the min from here, and we also have max. Max is will be inserted using this max, and value also has, and we will add value, and on change we will add on change. Now on change accepts the function, and the main accepts double. Double is this number, this kind of number. It's not a whole number like decimal. It has a point 0, point dot 1, something like that, and this value is the current value. Now to customize this, well, make sure you type the same thing as mine like this. Go to the slider here, click this slider part, go to the light bulb again. This light bulb will show you some of the stuff, and wrap with widget, and that widget will be what is it, slider theme data, right? Okay, wait, what was it? Okay, slider theme. Okay, sorry, slider theme. And below the slider theme, have data, and this part will add slider theme data, and this one basically holds the properties of the slider theme, like the color of the slider, the color of the thumb or the circle part. Now add dot. Okay, sorry, add a parenthesis to dot. Okay, wait, hold up. Slider theme. Okay, it's not data, forgot. Slider theme dot off dot copy with. Make sure you are in the same page like this. Uh, okay. What is copy with? Well, if you hover over this, you see a bunch of things that we can configure or we can set. Well, we don't want to do, or we don't want to change all of them. What we want to change, we will only change the active track color, thumb color, which is the circle one, inactive track color, and overlay color. The overlay color, basically whenever you press this thumb, the circle part, we call it thumb, is going to have a color, like when we press this, like being reflected, like a shadow, if you will. And okay, go to the module again, page 20. I will not type all of this, but I will just copy this part. Okay, I'll make sure, but I'll explain this later. So copy this part, because we will copy this part and paste inside this copy with parentheses. Make sure you copy until the second to last parenthesis. And okay, I will just copy, I'll grab all of this and Control C. I will open the VS Code and go to the copy with and paste the code. And if you are seeing this, well, don't worry. We will fix that by hitting Control S, which is gonna refactor the code, or in other words, again, making the code more organized. All right. And basically, we've done customizing the slider. Now, active check color, we already know what that is, some color in active check color. Now, what is this part? Why this color is different from the rest of this? Well, this part is like hexadecimal. Instead of, normally in our daily lives, we count 1 to 10, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have a numbering system, another numbering system, which is hexadecimal. It goes 0 to F. F is the highest value, and if we convert it into decimal, that F value will be 14. Yeah. So this part, this is the opacity part, or the how transparent it is in the code, in the look. And this is the red part, red, green, blue. Because the, if you know the about visual color, well, mainly you will work with red, green, blue. Okay, save again. Well, all right. So we've done that. The next thing, the next part will be, we will implement the custom slider to column here, column. This part you will not see this because this is a layout. It's not visible, but you will see that if we add, first of all, check again, uh, are we in the right step? Okay, first of all, we will need to add this 1 to 8 centimeters, and we will get that value from a variable like this. You see, if you see something like this is called variable. Now we will add another variable called int. This, we will name it height is equal to, initially we will put the value of 120. Yeah, maybe someone can have 120. Oh no, that's not possible. Well, I'll I'll put 175 centimeters for the initial value. Now this int, this is the short form of integer or a whole number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas double, if you see here, double is like 1.2, 1.3, like a fraction. That's basically it. All right. Now go to the height card again. Make sure you are in the height card here, and you have the column. Inside this, we will add a text saying, okay, just type it first, $, and height centimeters. Okay, what is this? What is this $? Well, this is what we call string interpolation. Interpolation means like insertion. You insert this number to the text. We get that value from the variable. So it will vary. The value will change depending on the variable. It's not fixed like this, like this. This doesn't change throughout the process of app, but this will change because this is, we add a $. Now we will customize it like by adding a font size, example, okay, style, same things. You should know it already. Text style, and add a font size, give it a value of 30, and we will make it bold. So we will add font. Okay, font weight. The font weight accepts font weight. You see, the VS Code or this IDE is suggesting all of the possibilities that we can choose. Okay, we will choose font weight, the bold, and hit save, and it's going to appear in our screen. Right? Okay, that's cool. 175 centimeters now. If you go up here and try to change to 174, it's going to change. Oh, it's not? Why? Because we need to call, because it's not going to, it's not being called again, but if you click the restore app, it's going to change. Because we don't implement the set state, remember? Set state, always add a set state whenever something changes. So now it changes to, and then next to text, below the text, we will add custom slider. We will add the value of min, the minimum value for the height. Maybe someone can have a height of 100 centimeters, that's possible. The maximum maybe like 230, I'm not really sure guys, maybe someone can have like 240. Well, for the value will be height got to double. Now what happens here? What is going on? This value, why did I add this to double? Well, because if you hover over this value, it accepts double, whereas this height, you see, it's integer, a whole number, so we need to convert it. Now add another property, will be font change. Okay, just save again. Take space, add parentheses, curly brackets, and there's an error. Well, remember, this should have double. We will add a value here. I'll explain that later. Save again. Now make sure you are typing the same thing. Now you see it changes. You see the slider, but if you hover over this, we can't change. We can't slide the slider over. So, well, because have we implemented the set state? Well, no. That's why we need to implement the set state. How? Inside of these curly brackets. Because this code, whenever we try to slide it over, well, it does nothing. We don't basically tell set state, well, something has changed. No, that's why here add set state again. Okay, inside of here, remember we created a variable called height, and this height we will accept the value from here, value dot round. Okay, what's going on again? Why do we add this round? What's going on? Well, it's because this height we accept integer, and this part the slider gives us the value of double. That's why when we round it up, it's going to be an integer. Now basically when we slide, okay, I forgot to save. Try to save and try. Now it changes. Okay, it changes. Okay, this value is based on the value here. We are assigning, because if you know that we can have another type of slider where we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but this one is like we don't have that number. So when we go here, that value is, for example, 1, or in this case, because the minimum value is 100, so when we go here, it's going to output the 100 value, and that 100 value will be saved inside this height variable. And because of the set state will tell Flutter, hey, something has changed, you need to update the UI. That's why it changes. All right, well, we've done this part. Okay, what is the next step? Let me bring up this screen. Okay, if you compare this, the position is not what we wanted in this example. To change that, with the always with the help of expanded. If you forget what an expanded widget is, expanded is a widget that takes up, or that takes up all the available space. Because if you see here, there is some space, right, that is not used. So we will use that. We will tell the expanded to take all the available space. Well, go to the text here, text height. We will surround it or wrap with expanded. X, okay, X, and it, save. T is going to be pushed to the right, this column. Now for the column, this one also will add expanded, because we want to have the space twice bigger than the height text. This one will be expanded. Okay, expanded, nothing changes, because in expanded you have something called flex. If you hover over this, you will see something called flex. Flex is like a ratio. So at the moment, the ratio is 1 1 1. Now we want to change that, so we can take the column twice bigger. X, add flex under the expanded of this, add the value of 2, and hit save, and it's gonna take twice bigger. Actually, okay, I'll show you. This one has 1 ratio, and this one has 2. So if you add up, that will be, this one will be like 2/3. This one will be 1/3. So 2/3, it's like 66.6%, and this one is like 33.3% of the space. Okay. uh, okay, we've done all, not all. Well, uh, what is the remaining part? Okay, we need to do height and button. So this weight, we just copy this for the weight card. We will just copy this. Uh, which part? Okay. Ah, this custom card. Add a comma here. So for the custom card, just copy this height custom card and Control C, and make sure you copy the height card from custom card until this close parenthesis that has custom card comment. Below it will be uh, the custom card again, space, paste it, and it's going to be duplicated. Now this is still using height variable. To change that, we need to create another one like int uh, weight, and then we will give the value of like 60 semicolon. If you have done that, well, go down to the bottom and go to the this part, and this height we'll change it to weight. Hit space, hit save, uh, and we will change this part, the height, to weight, since we are working with this weight card. Hit save, one by one. It's not centimeters, so change it to kilograms, kg, right? All right. And for the minimum value, well, for the minimum value, we'll change it to, for example, 30 kilograms, and for the maximum would be like 180. Yeah, someone can have that weight. Or and then this change change it to weight, and this one as well. Weight. Hit save. Now, okay, try to play around with this. If it works, meaning you copied it successfully. But if not, there's something wrong. Now, if you have a question, just unmute your mic or just uh, type in the chat. Okay, so the next part. Well, this is the last part. Uh, this is a flat button. Okay, we will create a flat button. So, okay, I need to make sure that we are okay. This is the custom card of weight, meaning we need to work under the custom card. Okay, so it means we are going to work over here, custom card. Now add a flat button. Hit tab. It's going to generate this code. And on press, we have a child, and inside of child, if we look at this part, what is this inside of the flat button? Well, this is text widget. We just add text that uh says calculate BMI, and for the text we will have a font size of 30. Basically all of them are 30. Style accepts text style, and we'll add a font size. So for the font size, let's give the value of 30 and hit save again, and see this text appears on this button. And if you compare to the module, well, why is this, why does this have a color when this one is not? Well, because we haven't added a color yet. And flat button, go up here, has a color. For the color, we will assign colors dot yellow with the shade of 900. Hit save. Oh, you see there's an error because I forgot to put a comma. Make sure comma is added here. Save again. Now it it still doesn't appear. What happens here? Basically, this on press we assign null value or insert null. Null is like nothing. You insert nothingness into on press. Well, of course, it's like being deactivated. To change that, add an anonymous function. Anonymous function is this. Add parentheses and add a curly brackets. Save again, and the color or the button is activated. Now, at the moment, if we click this one, you see you hear the sound, but it does nothing. It does nothing because this one is blank. Nothing is being processed here. So that's why when we click this, nothing changes. So the next step will be we compare this. We need to bring these three, all the widgets basically, to the bottom part. Now, how do we do that? Well, remember, you see, okay, I'll erase this. Uh, a layout widget that wraps with these four widgets. This one is a column. This column has a property called main axis alignment. Alignment. Now we will use that one, and we go up here to the very top of the code, to the body part. If you see this a bit confusing, it's fine for the first time, but if you follow along, when you look at this code again, it will be much, it will much more make sense, I guess. So this one, add a main axis alignment. Now, what is this main axis alignment? It will basically align the widgets, the children, to the position that we want. For example, main axis alignment dot center. It's going to put all the four widgets to the center. See? And what else we have? And space around. Well, you can just uh, work with that or play around with this, but I will just put and here, so they are placed at the very end or at the very bottom of the app. Okay, we are basically almost done. Okay, now what do we need to do to make this widget takes the available space? This widget also takes the available space, and this one as well. Remember, the widget that can do that is expanded widget. Now for the expanded widget, which part do we need to wrap the widget? I'll go to page 25. 25. Remember, this one is custom card, this one is custom card, this one is custom card, and the last one is flat button. Now, to make all of this take the available space, because here you see the space is not used, like it's wasted. So we just uh, wrap this custom card with expanded, this one as well, and this one as well, the three widgets, the three custom cards, I mean, this part, this part, this part. So we need to wrap this with expanded. Now go to the custom card, go back to the input screen. You will see uh, with the help of light bulb, you see custom card, and wrap this with X and did expanded will take up the available space. You see, this one takes the available space. Now we also want to do that with the height card. Now the expanded card is done. I mean the gender card is done. You can go to this part, like the arrow pointing downward next to the number here, the line number. You see this part. You can just uh, click this. It will minimize or hide the complicated custom card here. And this part we will add expanded as well. Wrap this with widget, and then we will minimize it again. See, expanded. Expanded always takes the available space. This custom card, this weight card, okay, wrap with widget. Expanded. Save. And yeah, you can collapse or hide this by clicking this arrow, and yeah, we're basically done. But wait, where's this flat button here? Well, okay, it's being hidden by by this expanded. Okay, so we don't need to add a or use the pointing downward arrow, because it's going to hide the flat button if you see. So because we will work the flat button now. So for the flat button, if we compare it again, uh, it basically stretches out outside, right? So we need to do that as well. To do that, well, just wrap this with container. Remember, container is very useful widget. Go here, flat button, click, and then wrap with widget, and type container. and hit save. Nothing changes because now it only contains the flat button. But now I will modify it, and container has a property called height. I will give the height of the container to, wait, let me see, 50. Let me save it first. What's gonna happen? Oh, see, there's some differences. Now for the weight, add a weight. Okay, hold up. Weight. I mean width. Sorry, guys. It's not weight. Width. For the width is double dot infinity. So this double infinity is going to put the infinity value, like maximum value. You can think of it like that, because uh, every phone has a different size of screen. By specifying this, Flutter will calculate the basically the how wide the screen is, so it will put this value. If we hit save, it's going to stretch this flat button. All right, so we are almost done. So for the next part, if we compare it again, there is something that really that's not good for your eyes. I mean, for the visual, for designer, if you're a designer, you'll see that this is not placed uh, symmetrically like this. So what we need to do, we need to bring down to the center, and this one will also bring down to the center. Now, remember what surrounds these two, text and slider, is a column widget. We will use the concept of main axis alignment that we just did earlier. Go to and just show the expanded again. Find the two widgets that surround this. I mean, the widget that surrounds this that will be a column. Column. Where is that? Row. This is row, and this is female card. Okay, this is height. Okay, this is height card, and we have the column that wraps text and custom slider. If you see this, you are in the right place. Now add main. Okay, sorry, main axis alignment. Main alignment dot alignment dot center. Save again, and see the column is centered. Now do the same thing to these two widgets, custom slider, and you can take your time. At first, I also was like confused about this, but over time, if you keep practicing, it's gonna be easier. This on the main axis. Oh, not here, sorry, because we will do that in the main axis alignment. Main alignment dot center. Hit save, and yeah, all right, we're basically done for the first screen. Now, basically this one is the same, and basically when we tap the button here, it's going to have a slide. I mean, it's like what is it? It's like a screen that slides from the bottom to the center here. So it's going to be like uh gonna open. Okay, we will not code this part. I'll just send you, or I'll give you the link for it, and you will have to. We will just copy the file. Okay, I'll share the link. In this part, we will only learn how to add an image to an app. I sent you the file in the chat, the link. You can just open that. So go to that link and download the zip file. It consists of this screen, the model bottom sheet. Yeah, this is called bottom sheet. Okay, wait. Okay. You see there is an image about BMI underscore info.jpg, and this is the .dart file. We will copy this file to a lib folder. All right, download it first. I'll download it. Okay, I think I have it open here. Result screen. Okay. Now this file is a .dart file, and that one consists of this bunch of codes like this. Now you can just drag this and put under the lib folder, and see this is the result screen. Okay, basically the same thing. Now we will learn how to add an image to our app. To do that, I have already prepared you this part. Whenever you want to add an image, you will, but from the asset or from the storage, you will need to type this syntax image.asset. But if you want to retrieve or get an image from an internet, we can do that by changing it to network. So since we are now going to learn how to add an image from an asset, we will change it to asset. Basically the same thing. This is going to be filled with an image path, whereas this network that I showed earlier is going to be like HTTP or something. So asset. Now to add an image, go to the bottom part here, right click and create a new folder, and new folder, we will name it as images. Now drag over the image to the images folder, or you can just copy and paste. And basically this is just an image about the infographics about body mass index or BMI. Now the path for this is images underscore path, but we cannot directly put the path here. First thing first, you need to configure the images asset in the pubspec.yaml. This pubspec.yaml is basically like a configuration file for this project. Go to here and you go down until you find this part, line 47. The line 47 says to add assets to your application, do something like this. Now, to change it, basically this is commented code. It will not be executed by Flutter. And if you compare here, there is no hash sign. This means it's going to be executed. So we will uncomment this part by pressing control plus slash forward slash, or this part control plus slash. Okay, sorry for my keyboard, guys. I think my keyboard is error here. Basically control slash, all right? Like over here, if you will, this part, control plus forward slash. Now delete this part and add this image path. Since the folder is under the file is under images folder, we will type images slash bmi underscore info.jpg. Hit save or control plus S to save the configuration, and it's going to run Flutter pub get running. Don't worry about that. Basically, it's going to, in simple terms, going to introduce to Flutter, hey, I have an asset, so you can use it. Wait until it's done. It's taking a while. Okay. It's no error here. Usually if you have an error because of the syntax error, it's gonna appear here like there's a problem, blah blah blah. Now go to the result screen and add an image path here. To add an image path, just type images slash bmi underscore info dot jpg. Save. Try to click. It's not gonna appear. Why? Because remember the result screen that you just downloaded, we have an included in our input screen. Now try to add that result screen here. Where? Okay, where do we want to put the result screen? Here's the logic. When we want to calculate, the result screen should appear. So that's why we need to add it around the curly brackets. Remember this one, the unpressed, basically when we press it, it's going to do something. Now, I will introduce you to the concept of show model. Okay, wait, which page? Forgot. Basically, we have a predefined function or a function that is already created by Flutter called show model bottom sheet. So this show model bottom sheet is going to uh, basically the half of the screen that will slide up from the bottom. Okay, for the context, just don't forget to add a semicolon first. Semicolon or a semicolon context. We will add it as a context. This part is a bit advanced. Basically, it just uh, tracks the which widget in the Dart tree. Remember the Dart tree that I showed you? And for the builder, will be build context. Okay, context. Okay, sorry. And this one will be context. And then curly brackets again. Say context. Okay, wait. Uh, okay, sorry. Forgot to put the parentheses here. Okay, if you go to the module, go to the very bottom part. I think it's in the page of, okay, build context. Uh, you see this fat arrow. We call it a fat arrow. Basically, this is the same thing as like uh, this. But this has to be one line because remember, if you see, this is only one line. Now we will implement the concept of fat arrow. It's a bit advanced, but it's good to know about it earlier. So if you come across again, you will see that that is called a fat arrow. It's like a function build. Instead of having to have the curly brackets, well, just erase that, use the fat arrow. And remember the result screen, what is this class is called? Oh, this one is called result screen, and we will implement that result screen and choose this one, and it's going to fill the parameters. Parameters is like uh, uh, a property or an attribute or a component that we pass into this part. It's like the gender, height, weight. Basically, we just take all the inputs from the input screen, like this one, which card, if it's male, if it's how tall is he, like how big is he, and we just gonna take like 150 centimeters, 74 kilogram, and we pass this into here. And yeah, so that's pretty much all. We will, there's an error, I mean, we will add a parenthesis to solve that. Now try to hit save. Okay, everything has been configured properly. If you don't see any uh, red text color here, meaning you nothing, there's no error. Now try to hit this button, calculate button, and something's going to appear. And remember this class, this is this screen, this is the bottom sheet. Bottom sheet. It will slide from the bottom. See, now you can change the, for example, the height is like 175, and for example, someone has 77 kilograms, and we will calculate. Oh, that means that dude is overweight. I think he needs to work out more. So that's pretty much all. See, and yeah, we have created the BMI app. For I'll explain this a bit. So basically, this is the calculator. This is the class where we calculate the uh, BMI with the formula, and this is the view or the class. And for how to, and this clip are rect, is basically the widget that makes the image have a rounded edge. See, rounded edges. And with the help of border radius parameter as well, we set the how rounded it is to 20. Okay, I will send the, I will give a link for you, the complete BMI app, so you can explore that later. And that's basically all. Thank you so much for attending the workshop. If you have any question, you can just ask in the group, or you can just ask directly to me. That's all, guys. Thank you so much. Uh, right? Okay, you can leave the session. I'll I'll give the link for the zip file for the whole app in the group. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Okay. You're welcome, guys. Thank you. Thank you for attending the workshop. Uh, is any recording of the session? Yeah. I'm actually recording the session here. I'll try to upload it so you can refer back later. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll just end the session, and I'll notify further in the group. Thank you.